know. It was weird.
I mean, he's a little weird.
Yeah, he's a lot weird.
He might be a lot weird.
Yeah, like enough.
No one's asking you to call your kid Tom Cruise DeCelestino, okay? Denzel's a different thing. It's the cool factor without the weird factor.
I want you to consider never watching another Tom Cruise movie again.
I want you to consider watching movies again.
I watched Beehive.
Come on, man.
And I watched The Diary of a Wimpy Kid over the weekend.
Apparently Inside Out's amazing. Oh, and I really want to see Deadpool and Wolverine. Supposed to be incredible.
Been told it's very good.
But you won't get any of the jokes. A lot of the jokes are Marvel jokes.
I saw the first Deadpool.
Okay. A lot of the jokes are Marvel jokes.
I don't know what you want from me, man.
The same thing your wife does for you to grow the hell up, Tom. No, that was me.
Oh, she's going to love that.
That was me. All right. Here's our Olympic roundup. It was great. We're out of time. I was actually into it more than I thought I would be. It was a pretty compelling Olympics.
You were not looking forward to it before it started.
I'm not a big Olympics person, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the basketball. Okay, I enjoyed the last couple of basketball games because they were good. And the other games, the games that weren't USA, were really good. The tennis was interesting. The judo. Did you like that judo? The breakdancing, the Australian breakdance. I can do that. We can all be Olympians now. Bad ones, but still. Thank you for listening. Great show. I'm Bill Ryder. He's Pretty Daddy. We'll see you here tomorrow on Ride of the Day.
Say, for the ones who get it done, Grainger is offering high-quality supplies and solutions for every single industry, as well as access to product specialists who have the knowledge and the experience to answer your toughest questions. Plus, their commitment to being your safety partner can help you keep your facility safe and your people even safer. So, call, click, Grainger.com, or just stop on by. Grainger.com.
Vanguard is 100% client-owned, serving over 50 million investors every day. Whether you're planning for retirement, putting your kids through college, or saving up for your next adventure, Vanguard can help you set personalized investment goals. All investing is subject to risk. Vanguard is owned by its funds, which are owned by Vanguard's fund shareholder clients. Copyright 2024, The Vanguard Group, Inc., all rights reserved, Vanguard Marketing Corporation Distributor.
This is your What's New update brought to you by Greenville Auto World. What's new? Greenville Auto World has new owners and is part of the DriveHereNow.com team of dealerships. New owner Tommy Cook and his team have 4 dealerships with a fully stocked inventory, over 200 SUVs, trucks, cars, and over 50 lenders, and has financing for anybody. Get shopping today at DriveHereNow.com. Greenville Auto World, Highway 43 at Bells Fork across from Speedway. Pirates supporting pirates.
The Buccaneer Music Hall is your beacon of music in the land of the Pirates in ENC. Open at noon 7 days a week with live music. Come enjoy sports trivia with me, Clip Rock, every Monday. Tuesday and Wednesday, it's live local acoustic night, along with line dancing from 7 to 9 on Wednesday. Thursday, there's a brand new lineup with Singo starting at 8, followed by karaoke with DJ Dog. Ladies and free both Friday and Saturday nights with the best local bands in the area. Finish the weekend with free games and DJ Kids Scene.
Y'all come get bucked up.
Country music star Sarah Evans will be coming to the Weldon Mills Theater, Eastern North Carolina's best entertainment venue, on September 14th. Conveniently located just off I-95 in Roanoke Rapids, Weldon Mills Theater offers a hassle-free entertainment experience with free parking, wallet-friendly concessions, and a cozy atmosphere. With comfortable seating throughout the venue, there isn't a bad seat in the house. Join Weldon Mills Theater for a memorable event where you can relax and make lasting memories. Get your tickets to see Sarah Evans on September 14th at WeldonMillsTheater.com.
There's a special deal at U.S. Cellular where you can get 4 lines for just $90.
It's perfect for you, Barbershop Quartet.
That's us.
There's no trade-in needed, and it comes with 4 free phones of your choice.
4 free phones.
U.S. Cellular, built for us. Terms apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
This is Brandon Tate, owner and operator of Atlantic Wireless, an authorized agent for U.S. Cellular since 1997. Visit atlanticwireless.com to find the store near you. We go beyond the call.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, this is State Farm agent Timothy Sawyer right here in Greenville. We can switch your auto and home insurance so you can start saving today. My team and I are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Timothy Sawyer State Farm, it's easy to switch and save. Just give us a call, 493-0002. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
This is proud ECU alumni David Price of David Price Construction. As a leading general contracting firm, we specialize in commercial construction and renovation. Whether it's updating your office space, renovating your restaurant, or building a new retail store, our team at David Price Construction is ready to assist. We are committed to delivering quality, value, and customer satisfaction across all of our projects. So give us a call at 919-820-3612 or find us online at davidpriceconstruction.com. Go Pirates!
Ahoy, mateys! It's Captain Jack Spare of R&R Tire Express. We're here to serve our pirate community by offering easy payments for easy ownership. For you landlubbers, R&R will install a new set of tires for just $20. $50 installs new custom wheels and tires. To learn more about R&R, stop by 3920 US 264 or rnrtires.com.
Greenville's hometown pizzeria is Cucinella's. Cucinella's has 2 locations with great options for lunch, dinner, takeout, and they now offer catering. Dine in for lunch with a slice, salad, and a drink with a friend, or stop by after work and grab a beer or glass of wine while you wait for your to-go order. The best pizza, grinders, salads, and homemade Italian ice is at Cucinella's. Cucinella's Midtown across from Best Buy, downtown across from Sup Dogs, and on Facebook and Instagram. Cucinella's, serving handcrafted pizza since 1932. Come taste the difference.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 at 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the pirate nation. This is Eastern Carolina's longest-running sports radio show. The Brian Bailey Show is on the air. The Brian Bailey Show is powered by Greenville Utilities and also brought to you by
The Angus Grill, Bostic Sugg, Bojangles, Michelob Ultra, East Coast Grading, Gavigan Insurance, Greenville Utilities, Papa John's, Taft and Hagler, The Rick House, and Tiebreakers.
And now, here's Brian Bailey.
Happy Monday, everybody, and welcome into our first show of 2024-25. Great to be back with you on Pirate Radio and looking forward to an outstanding football season. We're going to start, though, today on a more serious note. Mike Houston's going to be our guest, and we're going to join him coming up after our first break. But we'd like to dedicate this first show in honor of our late friend, Ramey Steins. Steins passed away unexpectedly a week ago on Sunday. He was one of my best friends in this entire world, and so many of you came out for the visitation and his celebration of life, and I know all of the family certainly appreciated everyone during what was probably the most difficult week of all for a lot of us. To Ramey's wife Carol and his children Lindsay, Trey, and Sarah Grace, his stepchildren Haley and Kelsey, and his precious grandchildren Kyle, Reagan, and Graham, we as a community, as I said at his celebration of life, promise to be there for you. We loved Ramey and will certainly miss him. So we dedicate this first show of 2024-25 in his honor. We'll miss you, bud, and we love you. We're back with Pirate head football coach Mike Houston on our season debut of the Brian Bailey Show right after this.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Holton Ahlers. In this football season, when the fourth quarter ends, join me and the Pirate Radio team on the U.S. Sailor fifth quarter call-in show.
How'd you think the Pirates looked? What positives did you take away? What negatives? We'll talk about it all. 317-1250 is the number.
I'm excited about taking your calls and breaking down ECU football games all season long.
There's local politics, bud.
Game days will never be the same, so join us here on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
The Angus Grill is your premier spot for the best burgers, cheesesteaks, and brisket sandwiches around. Join us for our unmatched variety of burger combinations, from the mushroom bacon Swiss burger to the jalapeno popper burger to the original Angus classic. Pair that burger with our amazing onion rings, tots, fries, or sweet potato fries. Angus Grill, with 4 amazing locations in eastern North Carolina, including Winterville near Pitt Community College, on Jarvis Street in uptown Greenville, and on Statensburg Road near the hospital. It's the best burger around, guaranteed.
Stock up and save during Bostic Sugg Furniture's Summer Stockpile Warehouse Closeout. We're clearing out inventory, and that means some of our lowest prices of the season. Save store-wide. Plus, find a huge selection of furniture closeouts, clearance items, floor samples, and more. Slashed an additional 50 to 70% off. Save on tons of mattress closeouts and floor models, too. Plus 6 months financing during the Summer Stockpile Warehouse Closeout going on now at Bostic Sugg Furniture.
What's up, Pirate Nation? Kyle Gaines here at Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Washington, North Carolina, letting you know about our huge selection of pre-owned vehicles, certified vehicles, vehicles for every budget, starting at $799 and up. And don't forget, we have all your off-road accessories here with our Washington off-road packages. So bring your Jeep, Ram, or other maker model, and we will take care of your accessories for you. Also, check us out online at WashingtonCDJR.com. Remember, drive a little, save a lot. Go Pirates.
If you're in the market for a swimming pool and you're located from the capital to the coast, Elite Pools can make it happen for you. They are the Carolina's premier fiberglass and concrete pool builder and renovation contractor. Every pool is built with the highest quality products and on schedule. Visit the Elite Pool showroom located across from Agri Supply in Greenville with fiberglass pools on site and a design center to simplify all of your pool selections. They also have a full service department with pool supplies, and they provide expert water analysis. Call Elite Pools today at 689-6557 or visit ElitePoolsNC.com. For pools, think Elite Pools.
Wings Over has been upgraded. Check out their new website at wingsover.com, their brand new ordering experience on their app, and the improved loyalty program with easier rewards to achieve. Sign up today to get monthly promotions directly into your account. Wings Over has not only upgraded the ordering experience, but the food as well. Coming soon are brand new sauces, a revamp of the traditional buffalo sauce line, and new food items. Keep an eye out on their social media platforms for updates and special promotions. As always, Wings Over is open for lunch every day and is open until 3 a.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. Wings Over, they deliver.
This is Carson Wistenhunt, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities, providing reliable utility solutions to the Greenville region since 1905. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back to the season debut of the Brian Bailey Show. Mike Houston joins us now. And, Coach, first of all, thanks so much for taking time out of camp, because I know camp is an absolute grind, and we're able to visit for a little bit. You had the first scrimmage on Saturday. First, your thoughts on that scrimmage?
Well, it was great to get it in. We had, with all the rain we had last week, you worried about having the ability to get a quality scrimmage in, but it cleared up, and the sun came out, and it was, humid and hot, and we need that, and we got a lot of great work. I mean, we had almost 150 plays between just the offense, defense, and special teams. So a lot of great work. Incredible film to teach off of and learn from and grow from, and came out fairly healthy. So a really good first scrimmage.
As a coaching staff, you see the film, then you show the players the film, then you looked at it again. I mean, what can you tell from – what are some of your first, reactions to that tape?
Well, I think that we did some good things in all three phases. We have a lot to clean up, but we have, tremendous – ability to really improve from the scrimmage Saturday to the one coming up this Saturday, because there's so many things that are just easily corrected, and you'd worry if you look up and there are things that you couldn't fix, ability or stuff like that, but all the stuff that we saw from the film is fixable, and so the challenge for the staff and the players is to just have a great week of being coachable, being driven, okay, and then getting things corrected and doing it right.
Things change so quickly in college football, and that's not even including NIL and transfer portals and that kind of thing. But having a chance to talk to your quarterbacks in their helmet, what is that going to do for all of college football?
Well, we're going to go faster. I mean, it'll help us go faster. It helps with some small things that you can tell him. And I've said it before, we got to be careful we don't tell them too much.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, Coach Baker Saturday could talk to the quarterbacks all the way up to the snap because we are snapping it fairly fast. But it does help because you got a lot of eyes up there watching, and you see stuff from up top that you can't see on the field, and he can tip them off into what coverage. He can tip them off on if you got pressure coming. He can change a protection pretty easy. So you can really do a lot of stuff that in the past you weren't able to do.
And then with 15 seconds to go, then it's a cutoff automatic. Right. How worrisome is it that, hey, you're halfway through a sentence and that sucker cuts off?
Well, we're still using signals because, to be honest, I don't trust technology.
I don't trust technology either.
Good and well we're going to get game 1 or game 3 or sometime, and the thing's going to stop working. Right. It's like everything else. So we are going to still signal. We only had it go out on us one time Saturday, when he was still talking, and we got everything signaled in, so it wasn't an issue. But you do have to, I think, still be prepared to not have it.
Yeah, and when you look at who's in the quarterback's ear, is it just the offensive coordinator, or do you guys all have a button, or what is that?
No, it's just the offensive coordinator in the quarterback's ear, okay. Just the defense coordinator in the linebacker's ear, and it's no different than any coaching staff will tell you. There's lots of headsets on the sideline, but not everybody's allowed to talk. So right. you got to be careful. Too many voices. So you need to really limit what information's going in.
And that's always been fascinating to me is to see. I mean, you're the CEO on the sideline, you're the head coach, and you can hit a button here, talk to here, hit a button here, talk here. But you're right. People have got to. Everybody can't just contribute.
Right. And there's rules. You can't be talking while the play caller's calling plays either, because one, everybody's got to hear him, and then two, it's just. I'm just telling you, from being a coordinator in my past before I was head coach, you're thinking constantly as you're calling stuff, and you're trying to think a snap ahead, and you're really dialed into the situation, and so you got to really be able to focus when you're the play caller.
We look back to last week with all the weather problems and everything, and somebody asked you after the scrimmage, are you behind? And you said slightly, but there's nothing we can do about it. But can you catch up this week?
Yeah, we'll catch up, and it's it is what it is. Now, thanks to our donors and the support, hopefully in a year and a half or so, we'll have an indoor facility, and it don't matter what it does outside, we'll go practice. Right. But right now we've got to adjust, and you got to do what you got to do. But it's this week's a big week, and particularly Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of this week are really, really important because we got to get all of our heavy work in those 3 days, because I do want to make sure that we are fresh and ready to go on Saturday.
I think one of the things that was interesting to me in talking to you last week, we think of an indoor facility. When it rains, you can get in, but it's also, as you said, you practice outside in the mornings, and you try to put weight back on them with lunch and with hydration, but you go back out there and it was so humid in the evenings, and that takes it back out of them. If you could go indoors in the evenings for your walkthroughs, that'd be much better.
Well, we had issues the first week. The temperatures were so high the first week of practice, and humidity was so high. We had some kids that had some pretty severe cramping issues and dehydration. We had some kids that, got held out of practice because, their weight went down so much. But it's, Eastern North Carolina in August, it's an issue. The other piece is, we got to get acclimated to the heat too. But 25 straight days of it is pretty extreme.
And you were talking after the first scrimmage, too, about the fact that some of the guys just have to grow up right away. Have you addressed that this weekend? Do they know the guys? Do they know who they are?
They're well aware. And it is part of growing up, and it's part of being a first-year, second-year player. It's some kids that, maybe just got here. Is learning how to compete and play at the level that, our veteran guys, you don't have to worry about them. Mm-hmm. I mean, you put a ball down, they're going to go, and they're going to be physical, and they're going to play hard, and they're going to compete. It's the young guys learning how to do that, and it's hard now. It is not human nature to go out there and do some of the things that we go out there and do. But that's part of it, and everybody develops at different paces, and everybody comes from different backgrounds, and so it's just one thing that there's you can't do it for them. I mean, you got to do it, and it's hard, and you got to embrace it and push yourself through it.
You said the other day that you remember your first days out there, and it's brutal.
I would venture to say that there's not a guy anywhere that played college football that doesn't remember the first preseason camp, because it is a shock to the system. You've never done anything like that in your entire life.
I was a junior in high school, and obviously it wasn't college, but I remember one of the seniors had screwed around all summer. In the first practice, all he did was puke the whole time, and I thought to myself, man, just watching him, I was getting sick. But and that's on a lower level, so I can only imagine what it's like for some of these guys.
Yeah, and it's had a couple of young backs that it got really hot, and I'm not talking about the temperature. I'm talking about the physicality and in between the tackles. And they didn't really want that, and so we had some good things. We got older backs, you've got Marlon, you got Rajay, even Javius is still a second-year player, but he's such a mature player, and there's such great leaders and example setters in there that I'm getting on to them. But those players also, they hold them accountable, in film and in meetings with a certain. We're going to play this way. That's the way we're going to play.
Each year to have that leadership, whether it's seniors or not, but have that upper class leadership on your football team.
Oh, it's vital. Yeah. And we're very fortunate. We have a pretty veteran roster this year, and so you got a lot of guys that know how to do it correctly and know how to set the example. And so we're very, very fortunate.
Talked all year long about the quarterback situation and when you're going to be able to name a starter, and you go through scrimmage number one. I think on the one hand, and I'm kind of putting words in your mouth, but on the one hand, you want to name a starter as soon as you can because you want him to get as many reps as he can. But on the other hand, you got to play this thing out. So where are we?
We're in week 2. I mean, that's it. I mean, we would like to have some separation this week. But it's up to them. I mean, they're the ones out there competing and playing. Both of them did some really good stuff. Both of them made some mistakes, and whether it's most of it is decision making, pre and post snap. But those are correctable. They both have the talent. They both throw very accurate balls. They both have arm strength to throw the ball down the field. They both are fairly mobile. They're both smart, but we would like to see some separation this week and somebody just take control of it. But coming out of the first scrimmage, I would say that hasn't happened yet.
You'd say right now they're still, as we get Monday, dead heat.
It's still a competition. So,
how do you see that they are embracing that competition? Do you see it each day that they're out there, that they're physically and mentally thinking about, hey, I'm battling for this job. This is what I've got to do, and that's a great battle.
It is. I want to get through it though, because I do think that they're both, really focused and stressing on that.
Right.
And so, once we have, a definitive starter, then hopefully that person can really just, focus on playing ball and leading this team.
And it's difficult, too, because in this age of everybody leaving all the time and everything, I mean, you got to figure out a way to try to keep everybody, because you may need maybe you need 3 quarterbacks in a season.
Well, no doubt. And they'll be here for the fall.
Right.
I saw, just somebody, saying something the other day about Shane Carden. And, I think he wasn't the starter to start the season the year he had to be.
You're right.
I don't know how far in was it that the other kid got hurt?
I think it was game 3, if I'm not mistaken.
Game 3, and then Shane ended up having a huge year that year.
Yes, he did.
So, you got to always be ready, and we talk about that a lot. Being ready when your number's called. And that's, whether you're a quarterback or a defensive lineman, being ready when your number's called.
And sometimes, too, psychologically, I mean, if you're not the starter, then you may work that much harder. And like you said, I mean, it can happen. You hope whoever you select goes out there and just knocks everybody dead, and it's great. But football is a game of adversity.
Oh, no doubt. And, we've been talking a lot about Jake and Caton, but, Raheem Jeter is having a very solid preseason camp, and we're very, very pleased with his development. He has, probably, 2 things he has to, continue to improve on to be, the best version of himself. But, he can go out there and function and win a ball game today. So You gotta have those three guys ready.
Yeah. And then they all three had a chance. Did anybody else play quarterback on Saturday?
Just those three Saturday. We have 5 on the roster right now, but those 3 were the ones that took the snaps Saturday.
Jake Garcia, Caton Hauser, and Raheem Jeter at the quarterback position, and that battle will continue on into scrimmage number 2. And you're only going to do 2 scrimmages this year, is that right?
Yeah, that's what we do every year. We have 2. Now we do have, like this Wednesday, and hopefully the weather will allow us to do it. But we do have some late game situations. About an hour at the end of practice Wednesday night that we're going to have officials here, and it's going to be, not a full scrimmage, but it'll be kind of a mini scrimmage just to get some late game stuff covered from a standpoint of putting our kids in those situations.
Yeah, and that's another possibility where somebody can, distance themselves in that quarterback race.
No doubt. I mean, it's operating in a 2-minute or 4-minute offense, and the things that you have to do differently in those 2 situations. To be successful, that takes a lot of just being really in it. It's going to take some experience. It's going to take, and so we're trying to get as much work at these situations as possible.
You talked a little bit about the running backs, but they're led by Rajay, and I tell you, he's going to get out of here one of these days. But it's been so nice to have him for so many years.
Well, this is the last ride, and he and I joke about that. But he's having a great preseason camp. He's as healthy as he's been since his freshman year. I think he fits this scheme very, very well, not only as a runner, but also catching the ball out of the backfield. So he's practicing very, very well right now and doing a great job with leadership in that room.
He always would come up to me and say, "My guy." And so I thought I was his guy. Then I realized that he says, "My guy" to everybody. All the guys are his guys. But just what a great smile on his face all the time. And I think we saw, glimpses of the true Rajay Harris late in the season last year, didn't we? He was coming back from that injury.
Yeah. And he's coming off ACL last year, and really it takes probably 2 years to get fully back from an ACL. Sometimes guys come back faster, but you really saw him the second half of the season, and particularly the Tulsa game. That you saw what he was when he was a freshman that night, and I think that's the version you're going to see this year.
A little bit about the rest of that room, because I know you're very pleased with them as well, with Gunn and Bond.
Yeah, Javius, he had a great day Saturday, having a very strong preseason camp. Also, with him, and he and I talked about it in the off season. The most important thing for him is taking care of his body and staying on the field. He's got to do a good job of staying in that training room, whether he's injured or not, and just really staying on top of keeping himself as healthy as possible. Marlon was involved in a traffic accident right before preseason camp started, and so he has not practiced yet. He's itching, so he's done a little bit of stuff this past week, but should be full go this coming week. And so he's a veteran guy that's really embraced his role in this team, and we need him, and he's going to be an important piece for us this fall in that running back room.
Backs, the younger ones that you've seen so far in camp?
We'll see. Yeah. They got to grow up. Yeah. And that's
of that group.
yeah. The rest of them, they got to grow up. That's how we'll label the rest of the running backs. But there's ability.
Yeah.
There's ability. T.J. Engelman and London Montgomery, they both have ability, and it's just the maturity piece, and that's part of what we talked about earlier. They've got to embrace it and grow, and they both want to. They've got talent, so I do think that you'll see them improve.
The wide receiver room is a little different now, isn't it?
Yeah. We're very, very good. We're very deep. We got some ability in the wide receiver room.
Yeah. Talk about some of those guys, because we haven't had a chance to see, some of them coming in new, but like a Winston Wright, a lot of people are talking about him.
Well, you saw him early in the scrimmage Saturday with a huge play. He probably returns the first kickoff for a touchdown. You're not happy for your kickoff coverage on that one, but I think he's going to be, obviously a big playmaker for us this year. He and Jari Patterson, those two guys in that slot position give us some real juice in there, and some guys that can really, make big plays down the field as well as some of the underneath stuff. Anthony Smith had a great spring. He's having a great preseason camp. He's got the top end speed. He's the big body. He's just doing a fantastic job. Chase Sowell is out, right now. He'll be back. But we kind of know what he did last year, and we're challenging him to grow from that. Brock Spalding is having a very good preseason camp. Kerry King is coming off an injury last year, and I'm very, very pleased with how Kerry's playing. He is, like we talked about Rajay already, I'm really shocked at how well Kerry is running and competing coming off of that knee injury. I think he's going to be in the mix. Keelan Robinson, he's going to play for us out there. And Malik Levert, young guy, we do expect him to be able to contribute. And Yannick Smith, I know he's a true freshman, but boy, he is gifted, and he is a big body.
He had a good play the other day.
Oh, he had several good plays the other day. But he's a big dude, and I do think he is maturity-wise. He is ready to play as a freshman.
He's a big dude, and he's only going to get bigger, right?
Oh, no doubt. He's right at 200 pounds right now, and probably 6'3", big old hands, and he's just a really, really talented young man.
I've always said throughout all these years that we've been around East Carolina football that when the Pirates are good, the tight end position is really, a big key to that. And it looks like that's where John David Baker's going to go to as well, and he's got some good weapons there.
Well, we've got two quality, older, experienced players and two, dynamically athletic younger guys that we feel like those four are going to play for us this year. Casey Kelly, transfer from Oregon, who was with Coach Baker at Ole Miss before that. And Tyler Savage, who is a fifth-year senior. Those two guys are having great preseason camps. They're experienced. They've been there. They know how to play. They're reliable. So those two will give us a solid couple of guys right there. But DeCirio Riles, who played a lot for us last year, is having a great preseason camp. He was injured in the spring and missed a lot of the summer, but he's back healthy now and really playing at a high level. And then Javante Connor, the transfer from Ole Miss, who's a redshirt freshman. He is young, but I'm telling you what, he is a extremely gifted player. And anybody, when you see him, he's what you want them all to look like. He's long, he's athletic, he can run. He's really young, and he's one I've got to keep him positive because he wants to be good so bad. He's very, very hard on himself, but he's still growing and learning.
When you got all these great skill position players, you still got to have the horses down low to block for them. How have you seen the offensive line come together?
Well, we're much improved over last year. Much improved. We feel really good about probably 7 deep, maybe 8 in time, but it starts with our center, Dustin Hall. He is a veteran guy, plays the game the way you want it played. He played guard last year, but we talked about it a lot. In the off season, he feels like he's better with the ball in his hands, and your center has to be the leader of that group, and he's certainly the leader of our offensive line. Hampton Ergel played a lot for us last year. Really excited about Hamp. He's playing at guard right now. He's big. He's experienced. He's very athletic for a big guy. Darius Bell, the transfer from Maine, is at the other guard position right now. He's having a good preseason camp. He's going to be a very solid player for us. Carson Jones, the transfer from Houston, he is going to compete with those three for those spots right there, and he's playing both guard and center. And we feel like those four are going to give us, a solid group there in the middle. I think we have a couple of younger guards that are having really good preseason camps. We want one of them to come along and join that group. But that's going to be the challenge this week for them. Then at the tackle position, Parker Moore is playing the best ball of his career right now. He's always had the athleticism, but he's playing with so much more confidence. The last half of last year, he really started playing better. He struggled early in the season, but he is really just picked up from that. He's playing very well right now. Kojo at the other tackle, young, extremely athletic. He's enormous. He is playing well right now. I think Jason Tarpey. We're going to look at him at both tackles some this week. Really have challenged him. He's talented enough and athletic enough and big enough to be a starter. We got to get him, pushing in that direction. And then, we got some young guys that, we're trying to bring along to, hopefully get another tackle ready. But that's the group right now that I see playing on game day. And really, I'm pleased with how we're playing up front offensively. We got a lot of improvement to make this week, okay? But I think we have a chance to be pretty good up front.
How difficult is it when they talk about 5 pennies on the offensive line? You got to turn them into a nickel, but that's it's an old cliche, but it's true. Yeah.
No, it is the truth. And the thing we're seeing is, it's offensive linemen are God didn't make enough of them. Right. And everybody's well, go out and get this. Go out and get what everybody's looking for the same guy. Okay, and everybody in the country, and some of these schools, they hoard them, and so there's not enough of them to go around. So but you got to find kids that are big enough, have the ability, they can move, they got the right mindset, and then melding them into one. And I said last year we started the season with a group that had never played together before. A bunch of them hadn't played before. Right. And the inexperience really caused a lot of issues, the first half of the season and a lot throughout the season. The best thing we have going for us right now is we have an experienced group returning, and they've played a lot, and so that's going to help us.
Talking with Mike Houston, head football coach at East Carolina, as we continue on in our season debut here on the Brian Bailey Show. Let's go to the defensive side of the football. When you think about that Pirate defense, man, that defensive line, they've been around for a long time, and they have some talent.
Well, we told the story because as I was talking with the young guys Saturday night in our team meeting, I told the story of when I got here, we didn't have just a handful of defensive linemen. And defensively, we were not very good, and so we set out that first off season, and we put a priority. We're going to recruit a group of defensive linemen and grow them up, and so they're seniors now.
Yes.
A few didn't make it, but the group that did, and we talked about last night, they're a veteran bunch. They have played a lot of ball. They are tough. They are physical. They're disciplined. They are the heartbeat of that defense, and so I'm just really excited about that bunch. I've challenged them. I expect them to be at a much higher level this year than they were last year. That's our defense as a whole. I think we can be. But that group right there is definitely the strength of our defense.
And it's such an advantage when you can get pressure on the quarterback with 3 or 4 rushing the quarterback instead of having to blitz to get any pressure. And it helps everything.
Well, and I do feel like we're going to have a better ability to pressure the quarterback without having to blitz as much this year than maybe we had in the past. Part of it's those guys are those interior guys. They're older and more experienced, and they're better. The other thing is having a couple of edge guys that I think that can really get off the ball and get after the quarterback.
You look at your linebacking core, and then you go into the secondary. I mean, this is a young athletic group. When you say that, you lost some stuff. Now, you lost Julius Wood. He's for the Cowboys now. I'm looking forward to watching him play some. Yeah. But you can't replace him, can you?
No, you can't. But at the same time, there's and you talk about the safety room. There's a group of safeties in there that have been in the program for a while, and they've played a lot. So Jordan Huff, Devin King, Omar Rogers, those 3 guys have played a lot of snaps. They are going to play at a very high level this year. And then you got some young guys. Jamarly Riddle is a true freshman. Demarius Hines is a true freshman. I think they're both going to play this year. They're very, very talented. You got another couple of young guys that are second-year players that, I really want them to come along and get on the field. Kamari McKinley and Javian Clark. Aiden Duncanson, a transfer from North Carolina. He's another guy that's kind of bounced between corner and safety. He's a safety right now. So, you look at the group as a whole, and you have some experience. You have some young, extremely athletic kids. But you have a group that I think is going to help us not only defensively but also on special teams.
Yeah, we're going to talk special teams in just a minute. But when you look at that defense and what they did in scrimmage number 1, I mean, they created some turnovers and they were around the football, weren't they?
Oh, no doubt. And it's that group. It's the corners. Siobhan and IBM are experienced returning guys. Andrew Wilson-Lamp had his best day as a Pirate Saturday. and really showed some flashes that are going to help us. Tymier Brown is coming along. He's getting there. But those corners, you talk about the linebackers. Mike Edwards is a veteran guy, played a lot of ball. He's having a very good camp. Zakai Barker has maybe improved as much as anyone in the program from last year to this year, and he is having an unbelievable preseason camp and really has really developed into the quarterback of that defense. Day Wilson, the transfer from Missouri, he had a very good scrimmage on Saturday. You have some young linebackers, DJ Johnson and Julian Davis, that I expect to play some for us. And then at the Sam, Kingston McKinstry, he's beat up right now, so he didn't practice Saturday, but he's a veteran guy. Gavin Gibson, the transfer from Maryland, and KJ Merrill, the true freshman. Both of those guys I thought had very solid scrimmages Saturday. But you look at that whole group right there along with those defensive linemen, and we can run. They have a lot of experience. They have a lot of playmakers out there. So, I think we have a chance to be pretty good defensively this year.
We had a chance to spend some time with Savone Revel on the trip to Arlington, Texas, in the American kickoff. He's changed his name a couple of times. It's the same name, but he's changed the pronunciation, hasn't he?
He can go by whatever he wants to.
That's right. He's pretty good.
As long as he plays the way he can play. But, he had a little hip pointer there last week, and so was not full speed for most of the week. He's coming back from that, but this is a big week for him because we got to get him ready to go and ready to play.
And then we'll wrap things up with the head coach for you coming up right after this.
This is a Pirate Radio Sports Break. I'm Shirley Rhodes. In the Canadian Football League, Dominique Davis returned to the Montreal Alouettes in a game against the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Looking for this one here. He break the plane. Touchdown it is. Dominic Davis. Welcome back to the Canadian Football League.
And Davis finished with 3 carries for 8 yards and a touchdown as Montreal beat Hamilton 33-23. In preseason NFL, Greenville native Cornell Powell had 3 catches for 24 yards for the Kansas City Chiefs on Saturday. This has been a Pirate Radio Sports Break. I'm Shirley Rhodes.
It's bow time. When you combine the bold taste of a Bojangles Chicken Supreme with dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, and a toasted bun that's great on the go, you get Bo's Bird Dog. In fact, you can grab 2 of them for $5, available for a limited time only. It's bow time. It's bow time. When you combine the bold taste of a Bojangles Chicken Supreme with dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, and a toasted bun that's great on the go, you get Bo's Bird Dog. In fact, you can grab 2 of them for $5, available for a limited time only. It's bow time.
There's a common misbelief today that to make it further, you need to push yourself, that you need to give up any joy to continue your rigid routine. Or you could try another way. Take some time to enjoy life, like having a Michelob Ultra with friends, because happiness is essential to living an exceptional life. Michelob Ultra, a refreshing and balanced flavor with only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Michelob Ultra, proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989.
You want a sub freshly sliced to order? You go to Jersey Mike's. You want the perfect radio idea? You go to me. Like this. I'm a lone ninja warrior. By night, I glide unseen across the rooftops, watching my enemies from the shadows. By day, I go to Jersey Mike's, watching someone freshly slice my sub. My blade is called Shadow. His blade is a Berserba brand meat slicer. Clearly, I have much to learn about this land. Freshly sliced just for you. Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
Hi, I'm Ken Hagler of Taft and Hagler. We're proud to be sponsors of the Brian Bailey Show and the Pirate Nation on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. If you've been injured on the job or due to someone else's negligence in an automobile collision, call us at 752-2000 for a free consultation with experienced professionals who care. Go Pirates!
The Rick House is Eastern North Carolina's premier restaurant and bourbon authority. Jefferson's, Basil Hayden, Woodford Reserve, and a Midwinter Night's Dram are just a few of the incredible bourbon options. The Rick House features the very best steaks and fresh, made-from-scratch pastas. The Rick House can host your corporate event or special parties in the 3,000-square-foot banquet hall. Join the Rick House for Sunday brunch from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and for the wine tastings on the last Friday of every month. The Rick House.
Pirate Radio.
I can promise you, we are going to be a hard-nosed, physical, fundamentally sound, disciplined football team. We're going to compete and go toe-to-toe with anybody we match up against. But that's going to be our mentality year-round.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities. Community owned, community powered. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back to the season debut of the Brian Bailey Show. Mike Houston joins us now as we get set for year number 6. Can you believe it?
Well, I was talking to somebody at church the other day, and just talking about. It just seems like it was yesterday that we just moved here, and the boys are at Wintergreen Elementary, and that now it's year 6, and I got one that's a sophomore in high school and getting ready to drive on his own, and playing high school football and basketball, and it's just the time's flown, and. But excited about this year, and I've said it before. I'm probably as excited for this year as I am any year in my career, just because of what I think we can be. Last year was obviously something I don't ever want to go through again.
Right.
It was tough, and but with adversity and with going through something like that, it teaches you a lot. It shows you a lot, and I think that it really has a lot of chip on your shoulder kind of deal. Not just for me, but I think for all of our guys that were on the team last year, and so there's a lot of drive this preseason camp to get ready for the season.
Most winning teams, most championship teams are really good on special teams through the years, and special teams can change a game.
Oh, no doubt. Our really good teams at JMU, we were dominant on special teams, and a lot of that comes down to personnel. Having a lot of guys that can run, have ability, but a lot of it comes down to what you're doing too, and just really excited about the position that Coach Powell is putting our players in to be successful. These 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, are going to be put your hard hat on and go to work days, and that's what it needs to be. This is a week where we have a chance to make a tremendous amount of improvement from scrimmage 1 to scrimmage 2. And we'd like to have the exact same kind of setup next week or this coming Saturday as we had last Saturday, where we allow our guys to go out there and basically play a ball game. And it was a great experience for us on a number of levels last Saturday. But you have the tablets on the sideline now. We can show video between series. You have all these different combinations that are playing together for the first time. You have a coaching staff that's coaching together for the first time come August 31st. And so these situations on these Saturdays are just they're gold. And we really want to see a tremendous jump from scrimmage 1 to scrimmage 2. I mean, it's going to allow you to correct things much quicker and with much more clarity for the player. And the other thing is, as compared to being up top, when I was a coordinator and set up in the box, you can see everything. Right. So you see exactly what happens. When you're on the sideline, you only see part of the field. Right. And so you can't see everything that's going on out there. But now all of a sudden with the tablets, it's going to allow you to see things so clear with what exactly happened. Because sometimes it happens so fast the players can't tell you. But now you have that, and so you're going to have the ability, halftime is going to be huge. You're going to be able to watch film at halftime of explosive plays that you gave up defensively, big plays that you made offensively, or breakdowns that you had. You're going to be able to get those corrected so much better with the tablets.
Yeah. I remember last year we were talking, I think it was the Marshall game, with the big play that Marshall came up with, and you guys were saying that we worked on it. We told him it was coming, but sometimes those kind of things happen, don't they?
Well, they do. Well, the good thing is he's not a rookie corner this year.
That's right.
Last year you were playing, with all of our corners last year were first-time starters. Yeah. So now at least you have 2 guys coming back that are veteran guys. So, but it allows you to show them stuff and get things corrected, which is going to allow them to be better the next time out on the field.
That's just going to be amazing to see guys working on a tablet on the sidelines and that kind of thing. Now, what are some of the things you want to see Monday and Tuesday leading up to Wednesday? What are some of the things this team has to get through to get to Wednesday and then on to Saturday for the second scrimmage?
Well, I mean, I think defensively, I want to see us be better tacklers next week. We had too many missed tackles Saturday. And most of that, your first live scrimmage, it's going fast, and the kids are playing hard, and most of it is an overrun. You got some young guys that got to wrap up better. So there's going to be a big emphasis on tackling here the beginning of the week. Offensively, one is we got to eliminate the turnovers we had last week. We talked about it after practice the other day. You're excited defensively because you made those plays.
Catch-22.
But, you don't want to turn the ball over like we did Saturday. Right. And those are correctable mistakes. The other thing is, we got to clean up some stuff offensive line-wise, with some of our counters, some of our counter game. If our defense, we know, doesn't just sit there.
Right.
It's one thing to block a front that just sits there. But, we bring pressure from all over the place, and we're constantly moving. And, that showed, some problems there Saturday in the scrimmage. And so we got to get that corrected. So it'll be a big emphasis on that early in the week. So, and the young players, they've been challenged, and we've shown them on the tape, and they know what they got to do. This is a big, big week. I told them, if you're not a frontline starter, you have to show value on special teams. You have to show value as a depth guy, or you're not going to play on game day. You're not even going to be on the bus. You're not going to be dressed. And this is a big, big week for some second-year players, some true freshmen, to show that they are good enough to play this year. And so this is a big week for that young part of our roster.
Because when you start camp, and it's like the regular season is so far away, and you get closer and closer and closer. But, August 31st, Norfolk State is just around the corner, and we can't wait till we get there.
Oh, I can't wait to, be back in Daddy-Ficklin Stadium. I'm glad we're opening at home this year.
Yeah.
Just excited to, get back in front of our fans. Excited to see, what this year's team is going to truly do on game day. It's the best time of the year if you're a coach, and it's right around the corner from kickoff. So got a lot of work to do before then, but really looking forward to August 31st.
Midway through the season, fans can get to most of the games early on.
Well, and that's I think that's going to create for some great environments.
Right.
It's obviously the openers here. ODU in Game 2, I know that we'll have a ton of Pirates up there in Norfolk. Yeah. And I would say that our Appalachian game, that'll be a hard ticket to get.
It will be.
Between App's fan base they travel to, and then turn right around and go up to Lynchburg, and that's not too far away either. So I would expect us to have a huge purple section up there for that one also. So you look at our non-conference schedule, and it is very regional, which I think is great for our fan base. And then, we get into conference play. We do open at home for the conference opener against UTSA. So, we got a pretty good opportunity for everybody to get to see the Pirates play a lot of ball here early in the season.
We sure. TV show again this year. Those are fun times. Even through bad times, it's still just to get a chance to be around the team and to be with you guys. I certainly will never take it for granted. And I'm hoping we go 12-0 this year. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, that's I've talked to the players a lot, and I think that there's the opportunity to win every single game on our schedule, and we got to keep it focused on just the one right in front of us. But I know that the players are very, very excited about what this season could be.
Before anyone walks into your business, the outside is what they see. Make sure your first impression is a good impression with the right curb appeal. Hi, this is Daniel Andrews from Dan Andrews Lawn Service. We specialize in making your business look great. Let us handle all your professional landscaping needs. We do it all so you don't ever have to worry. Residential services are also available. Call us today at 717-8006 and we'll come out and give you a free quote. Taking care of your landscaping needs is all we do, and we've been doing it for over 20 years. You can trust our reliable team at Dan Andrews Lawn Service, covering all of Eastern North Carolina.
Did you know that GUC's electric rates are the lowest in Pitt County? GUC's average residential electric bill, using 1,000 kilowatt hours per month with load management, is $21 lower than the investor-owned utilities and $34 lower than the local co-ops. In fact, GUC's average electric bills are still $10 lower than they were 10 years ago. Low rates with high reliability. That's the value of public utilities. That's the value of GUC.
I'm Michael Vaughn with East Coast Grading and Utilities. Many of you know my dad, David Vaughn, and his work in putting in subdivisions all over Pirate Nation. But East Coast Grading and Utilities is not just for those type of big jobs. We're here for the homeowners. Whether it's concrete, driveways, hauling rock, or sand, whatever you need, East Coast Grading and Utilities can get the job done. Call us at 252-531-7494 or check us out on Facebook at East Coast Grading and Utilities.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers does real burgers better than anybody. And don't forget about the cheese sticks, fresh salads, and more. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, burgers and sports at its best.
Go Pirates! Arr!
This is John Gavigan with the Gavigan Agency. Our top priority is doing what is best for our members. Whether you are buying a new vehicle, a new home, protecting your family with life insurance, or filing a claim, our agency will be there every step of the way. Our goal is to become a trusted advisor for you and your family for all of your personal and commercial insurance needs. Give us a call in Greenville at 756-1400 for a car, home, business, or life insurance quote today, and give us the opportunity to show you the benefits of doing business with someone who cares.
Country Mart has been locally owned and operated for over 40 years and is your premier country store serving the best cheese biscuits and country food around. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Both Country Mart locations are top-of-the-line fuel stations serving Shell gas, including 93 ethanol-free high-octane gas, which is the best for all you boat owners. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food in your engines with great gasoline. Go Pirates.
This is Dale Murphy, 2-time National League MVP and number 3 with the Atlanta Braves. And you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities. Community-owned utilities mean local control, low rates, and high reliability. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back to our show back here in the studio. I want to thank head coach Mike Huster for taking time out to be with us during camp, because that is really, really a difficult time to try to get an interview like that in. So we certainly appreciate his time. I was talking to one of the coaches on the sideline today, and I said something about camp. And I said, how do you think the first scrimmage went? He said, it's camp. And that's pretty much how first scrimmages always go. You know, you got some good, but you get some bad. And, when you're in camp and just every day grinding it out and trying to get through it, I think most players, most coaches, and everybody will tell you that once you get through camp, you've got a chance and you get to survive the season. But getting through camp is very difficult. Some of the things that I noticed in the first scrimmage, I had a chance to be out there, and as Coach Houston said, there was some sloppy, and he got to clean that up. But he was very encouraged that most of the sloppy was stuff that that's easily cleaned up. And I think they went to work doing that today at practice early on. He was also on some of his younger players on Saturday after the scrimmage about growing up. He said, football is a game of adversity, that you're going to find adversity, every quarter, every play, and you got to fight through it. And he said some of the young kids have to figure out a way to get that thing figured out. The turnovers on Saturday, it was a catch-22, because obviously if you're creating turnovers, that's what Blake Harrell's defense wants to do, and they did a good job of that in the scrimmage on Saturday. But if you're on offense, John David Baker and company don't want to turn the football over. So I think that was another added emphasis today. And tackling, I was a little surprised, because usually the Pirates are a good tackling football team, but Coach Houston said in the interview that they didn't tackle very well in the first scrimmage. And I can tell you this, they were out on the practice field today, and one of the first drills they did was tackling and executing tackles and form tackling and that kind of thing. So that was one of the things that I noticed. He did say also that he thinks his team's a little behind because of the weather last week, and it was brutal, as we all know, last week with Debbie coming up, whether it was a hurricane, a tropical storm, or whatever. It was a lot of rain each and every day, and it was just hard to get practices in and trying to get everything orchestrated like that. Now, if you've seen Twitter today, you've seen the picture that we put up, but I was standing on getting some videotape for the newscast tonight, and I was in a spot where I was supposed to be, and somebody got knocked out of bounds, and it's wet out there, so guys are sliding around a little bit, and the player, I don't even know who it was, but he got knocked down. He kind of did a flip, and his cleat just came right across my arm, and it didn't hurt all that badly, although I thought about crying, but I didn't. But I looked down, and I was dripping blood, and I thought, oh, this is awful. So we took a couple pictures of it, had a little fun with it, and the trainers came over and kind of, dabbed it all up and got it looking where it's okay, so it doesn't bleed on anybody else. It's not a major injury. No stitches were required, but it kind of shows you just how physical things are out there, and you gotta be a man to play that sport. And obviously, my days of being a man are long gone at 62. But it was fun to be out there, to be at practice, and to get some of that videotape, and to kind of see what they were working on after that first scrimmage. Scrimmage number 2 is set for this Saturday, and that'll be interesting because I really think, I just heard part of the John David Baker interview from after practice. I just heard some of that, and he reiterated that he and Coach Houston want to make a decision as soon as possible. And my gut tells me that after that second scrimmage, I think on that Monday that they may announce the starting quarterback, because they really want the starter to get as many reps. And as Coach Houston said in the interview, if you think back, that Shane Carden did not start that year. He had a great season, but didn't start the year as the starting quarterback. And I think that that's something that he's going to tell the other quarterbacks. But it's going to be a tight race. Obviously, when you got Caton Hauser and Jake Garcia, they both came to East Carolina to be the starting quarterback, and you can only have one starting quarterback. The old adage, the old saying says, if you have two, you have none. And I think the Pirates are looking forward to naming somebody as the starter to get that person the most reps that they possibly can. So we'll have to see how that plays out, but I really think it'll come after the scrimmage on Saturday, probably announced on Monday or Tuesday of next week. Fascinated by the helmet communications deal. I think that's just going to be a neat part of college football, and I think when you see a busted play, sometimes it's going to be because that microphone got cut off. It gets cut off at 15 seconds, and before the play clock runs out. And if you're in the middle of a sentence, it's just tough. It's over with. So you have nothing to do as far as that goes. But I think that's going to be another fascinating asset to what's going on in college football coming up this year. All right, we're going to take our final break. We'll come back. We'll wrap up this first edition of the Brian Bailey Show. So good to be back with you, and we're back to wrap it up after this.
Want to make your day better? Order a Papa John's pizza. Get an extra large, one-topping New York-style pizza for only $10.99. Made into 8 foldable slices, perfect for sharing or not. See, things just got better, and you get to eat pizza. Hey, Pirate fans, Papa John's is an MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, better ingredients, better pizza. Go Pirates!
Pitt County Schools is in the people business, and we are hiring. If you're looking to make a difference by helping us ensure the future of Eastern North Carolina, we invite you to be part of our dynamic team. If you're just starting out or exploring a career change, the doors of one of Pitt County's largest employers are open for those seeking competitive pay and a multitude of advancement opportunities. We offer learning support and advanced leadership opportunities to better prepare our educators and skilled labor force. If you want to be part of an award-winning school system that focuses on educating students and growing our employees, we encourage you to surround yourself with people who are going to lift you higher. To fill out an application, please visit our website today at pittschools.org. That's pittschools.org, and help us engage, empower, and elevate through 38 schools and one community.
You've had your new computer a few years now, but lately it's been running super slow, acting strange, and you're worried about viruses and losing data.
This is driving me mad.
Let the experts at University PC Care in Greenville and New Bern professionally diagnose your Mac or PC to see what's really going on. They'll determine the root cause and not just symptoms, so you don't waste money fixing the wrong issues. Call 252-558-1280 for in-store or remote service, or make an appointment online at universitypccare.com.
Come experience Greenville's newest theater, Golden Ticket Cinemas, located on Greenville Boulevard near Cracker Barrel. With stadium seating and reserved luxury recliners, you can enjoy the movie along with great concessions such as L House sliders, delicious wings, pizza, and hot dogs. And they even have milkshakes. You can always find great deals at Golden Ticket Cinemas, such as $5.50 Ticket Tuesdays and free family movies at 11 a.m. on Saturdays and Sundays. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show in style with luxurious amenities and top-notch service at Golden Ticket Cinemas.
Hey Pirate Nation, be sure to have the best and comfortable shoes with a stop at Fleet Feet. This is ECU alum Chris Lunyon, owner of Fleet Feet of Greenville, and we provide solutions through one-on-one service to runners, walkers, and everyone in between. Fleet Feet has the tools and technology to get you in the right shoe, including a 3D foot scanner that measures arch height, width, and more. Come visit us at 207 East Arlington Boulevard in the old Gordon's Golf location. Fleet Feet, we run for you.
Pirate Radio.
See that door right there? One marked pirate. You think a pirate lives in there?
The voice of the Pirate Nation.
I see a door marked private. Is that the door you're talking about?
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities, working for our community, not for shareholders. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back to our show as we wrap up this first edition of The Brian Bailey Show for the year. I want to thank all of our sponsors, and I'll run them down for you really quickly. You'll hear them again at the end, but just Jeff Quan at Angus Grill and Cameron Cray with Bojangles. My good buddy Britt Laughinghouse, who sent me such a great text after Friday's celebration of life for Ramey Steins, but Bostic Sug, Carolina Eagle, and Russ Sapruto, Michael Vaughn, David Vaughn with East Coast Grading. Dave did a great job at that celebration of life as well. John Gavigan, Gavigan Insurance, Tony Cannon, Fireball with GUC, Charles of Papa John's, Ken Hagler with Taft and Hagler, Stanley and Company at the Rick House, Bram Anderson and whole Anderson family with Tiebreakers, and Tommy Cook and those guys at Greenville Auto World. Thank you so much for your sponsorship this year. We certainly appreciate it. Next week, we will preview week number 1 of the high school football season, and then we're working on a coordinator coming up for game week for East Carolina. That is our first show of the year. Thanks so much, and we'll see you back here next week.